Knicks family, welcome back to the Guard of Knicks podcast. I'm your host Apollo Reed. I'm here with Rick the Ruler.
Yo,
what's going on, Rick?
Not much, man. Not much.
You know what I'm saying? And last but not least,
yeah, come on, man.
Big bro Andre Jalil. What's going on, man?
Don't do that to me, man. I'm just trying to have a good time out here, man.
I see that.
The Knicks lost, so I'm a little bit down. I'm sad a little bit, but we're gonna bounce back.
Don't be sad. That happens, bro. That's unfortunately we're kind of used to it. But anyway,
man,
the
what a thing to be used to.
What a thing to be used to, right? So at this point, we already know we lost yesterday, so we probably watched enough footage of the game. But we lost to the Bulls 98-96, and it was a frustrating game, of course, because it came down to the last shot to tie it, not to win it, but to tie it. You know what I mean? But there was a ton of things that went wrong in that game that it could have stopped us from having to worry about a last shot from RJ Barrett, who could have clearly made that. But we'll get into that later. But let's talk about the high note. Of course, we started off with Derrick Rose the other day and the trade for Derrick Rose. And you saw he came in and he did his thing. He meshed well with the young guys. He immediately had some impact. He saw him with the dish to what's my guy's name? Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
And it was something that we finally won. You know what I mean? You heard that he had a meeting with these guys before the game.
Sat down, had dinner with
them. So this is what we want. You want to hear that from your vets that got traded. But what you guys see for Derrick Rose, Rick? What'd you see, Rick?
Exactly what I thought I would see. Speed, tempo, increase. Somebody who knows how to find the open man. Someone who's not afraid to shoot the mid range. Like he did exactly what Derrick Rose does. He got 18 points, which is what his average. So he gave
14.
Exactly what.
Yeah, 14.
He got 14.
Yeah, which is his average.
Well, yeah, he's right around there where he was supposed to. What he thought he was going to get, or what we thought he was going to get. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to.
Sorry about that. Drake.
I don't know if you realize, but if you look at the plus minus, all of our starters were negative, and the plus minus, and everybody on the bench was
positive.
I looked at that. At one point in the game, I think everyone off the bench was a plus 20.
Oh, all together?
No, each one of them. Like the guys that came off the bench.
At one point during the game.
Yeah, they were plus 20.
I remember one of the guys saying that. Let me tell you what I saw though. I think you mess around. I think the only reason why here's the person I think that's out on this rotation, and that's RJ Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why he's out is because apparently Thibodeau likes that second unit. I think he likes that second unit better. And in that second unit, he's running it with Quickly, Rose, Noel, and Burks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He had Burks at the small forward.
Right.
And Burks could shoot better than RJ. And like when I realized that, I said, oh snap, like RJ just got back in. Like he's not, like first he did the little sub where Burks comes in first.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came in with the whole unit. Like the whole unit came in. But that's what it seemed like happened.
Mm-hmm.
But man, like it just looks like with a little bit more. If that's his first game, D Rose, and the way he bought, like you said, the alley-oop to Obi Toppin, or no, the pass, the dime,
yeah,
to Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
He's way more confident than anyone on our team.
Yeah.
More confident. He's like
Obi Toppin looked surprised to get the ball.
Right. He was
like he still handled his business. Yeah.
What I realized, I thought so too, but what I realized is that he thought that he was going to throw the alley. So he was going, like you kind of saw him gather for the alley. Yeah. So he gathered for the alley, and then he was like, oh, he's throwing it to me right here. And then he caught it and then went up. Because, he's going for the alley every time.
Rose did exactly what I thought he would do. He leaves his feet a lot.
every time.
Yeah, he does. He jumps and passes.
He leaves his spot, and then he does like these dot passes, and that was too much.
Yeah, just like that.
Nerlens, he dots all of his passes. His passes come super fast, and it's stuff that the guys got to get used to. But what I like about him dotting the passes sometimes, because they stole a pass, somebody got in the lane on him.
Yeah,
is that sometimes these guys, they do like lazy passes. They be like this, and somebody get in between, and it's like, yo, throw the pass. But
that's the play. That's the play right here.
Yeah,
that we were talking about.
Okay, let me see. I didn't realize that he was. I saw that he looked like he wasn't expecting it like that. But that right there was dope. And you saw Rose with the look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose is like with the no look. And I was like, look at this.
Yeah.
And it does something to the team. And he could shoot better. I felt like towards the end when he was with the Knicks before, he started to become a better shooter.
Yeah, I think that's something that's also something I was going to allude to. He shot 5 for 9 from the field, which is pretty good in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? He shot above 50% from the field. He shot 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. I mean, he's not a 2 for 3 every single night guy, but he has the confidence to put that shot up. He's not somebody you're going to leave open out there like Elfrid, you know what I mean? Or someone that you're not really going to trust with the pass. Like sometimes if you're RJ or Elfrid or RJ or Julius and you're penetrating and you're trying to pass the ball out and you see Elfrid, I can see that there are certain times where they actually decide to continue with going to the basket instead of dishing it out because, they might not get that shot. But recently he's been hitting it, so they've been passing it out to him. But it's still not consistent enough. You know what I mean? But the thing that I do like about Rose is that he can actually knock the shot down. He can create pressure on the defense. He's not gonna, he's gonna be playing against the second unit most of the time. But I like the fact that they brought them off the bench together because it showed bring them off the bench together.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was risky?
I think it does something to the flow of the game when you swap out too many players at one time. And he brought Rose in quickly in at one time, and I think right after that he brought in 2 additional players as well, which can be it worked out this time. So you don't think much about it, but like
I'm gonna tell you why it's not risky.
It's just weird to switch out your entire unit in one.
I'm gonna tell you why I think it may not be risky. And I think that's because they practice it that way.
They have chemistry together, you're saying?
Yeah, I think they used to be on the floor together in practice. And he's big on, and you practice hard, you play hard, whatever the case. And I think that's the case. But there were some situations where they had Julius in there, whatever the case with that unit. Mm-hmm. And I think Julius probably got the most minutes. How many minutes did Julius get?
37.
Yeah, he got just about 37 minutes. And he had the most. So he was playing with both units. And he's pretty much our star, so he's got to do that.
Yeah.
But I felt like Reggie Davis, the calls in this game was just like
he got a technical off of a call that he was right about. I feel like they should reverse that.
Like he's standing right there.
It happens all the time, man.
And I want to compartmentalize that whole situation. RJ missing that last shot. But there were a lot of things leading up to. I'm mad at RJ because that was your opportunity for the situation that we were in after with all of these calls, these wrestle making. Right. And then they had with the foul on Julius. Well, what's his name? Wrapped his arm around him.
It was like, you know what it was? The ref from the other side of the
other
court
side,
called
he was
the
like
foul.
On top of him.
And then the person that was right there didn't call anything at all. So you had 2 refs, different vantage point, and they're both wrong.
Right.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. Even when they I think the play with Alec Burks at the end called the timeout, and I forgot the female ref. She was trying to say that.
She apologized.
She was trying to say that he was out, and he was like, "No, like the guy over, this ref he just called the timeout." Like you know what I mean? Like it happened a lot. You know what I mean? And it was annoying, but there was like you said, there was a lot that went wrong. But another point that I want to talk about, of course, is like we talked about RJ Barrett. He didn't really play too well the past 2 games. Well, the last game it was more the timing. You know what I mean? I think that last shot was just. I think that it was a stain on the game. He wasn't having a terrible game. He only played 27 minutes. I think the reason why the last two games, personally, that he has been playing less minutes is because of just how the Heat play defense. They throw two guys at everybody. Every single time you came down the floor from the beginning of the game, first quarter all the way to fourth quarter, they throw two guys at everybody, and it was a struggle for RJ. So I can see why he probably didn't want to go with him for, especially the first game versus the Heat, because they really locked him down. He didn't look good at all. So he just didn't play him, which I didn't blame him for that. That one I gave a pass. This one, it was a little bit weird, especially because RJ's a guy that plays off rhythm. There was a sequence where he took him out of the game going down in the fourth quarter, and
he tried to dribble behind the back. Was that the through the legs?
No, he took him out because it was one of the final possessions because he wanted offense. But then he ended up back in.
Yeah.
Right, but then he ended up back in for the final possession.
And then it was too many
people. No. My thing is that he ended up taking the final shot.
Right.
So if this is a guy that you possibly want to take the final shot, why are you taking him out in an offensive possession? You know what I mean? And that, like I said, that's the rhythm. You know what I mean? If you have the confidence to have him take the shot to win the game or tie it at least, why did you take him out? You could have took someone else out.
I think the plan was the 3-point shot, though. I think that's why they took him out.
Right, I for sure. I definitely see that. But you could also play small ball. There's other options in doing that. But when you have someone who's clearly your second best scorer, and you want a 3-pointer, then get someone else that can shoot a 3-pointer and sub someone else out, even if you have to play small for one possession. You know what I'm saying? So that was to me the weird thing. And outside of this Heat series, I haven't seen Thibodeau actually divvy up the minutes. This as difficult as a lot of people will say he has. It was really the last 2 minutes with the last two games, and I really think it's just how Miami ran it. They ran two people. I mean, they game plan. Eric Spoelstra does a great job at game planning for guys. And I think they just ran two guys at RJ every single time because they knew that he was going to go left and they knew that he was going to attack the basket. So, and I think Thibodeau knew that as well.
I still think he should have went for the basket, got the foul, and then if the shot fell, it was a game-winning foul shot. You know what I mean? I think he tried to just make the basket, and then in pursuit of that, he missed it and didn't get the foul. And
I mean, at the end, let's not fail to mention that he was guarded by possibly one of the best defenders in the league. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's really not too much you can blame a second-year player off of, especially.
I don't blame him for missing.
I mean, he could have made it. It was a makeable shot.
Oh yeah,
definitely a makeable shot. It was his shot. It was his lane. That's what he does. It was a left-handed shot at the basket. But it was also someone who clearly has watched a lot of footage on how to guard him, and then got him off his spot because he couldn't get to the basket. Right. Usually when RJ gets in, he usually lays it up right at the rim. This time he laid it up kind of high, off the side of the backboard,
trying to get over the defender.
But if you see what one of the I guess it might have been Clyde or Mike Breen. I think Mike Breen said that there might have been a hand checking call that he could have been called for if they reviewed it, because he actually was hand checking on RJ, which caused him to take the shot like that. But that's part of the game. You learn. These guys, both of these guys, we could have won. I mean, both of these games we could have won.
Yeah. We
lost the first game by 3 points, I think, and this game by 2. I think there's a lot of possessions. The possession is actually Julius Randle. He definitely did not show up this game. He shot 4 for 18 from the field. And this is what I'm saying. These are the things that we don't really want to mention and we kind of graze over because there's other things that we see that stand out more. But he shot 4 for 18 from the field. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He really didn't get to the line much. How many free throws did he have? He had 4 free throws. He was 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. And then the icing on the cake for me was the fadeaway shot at the end of the game, which I think it was too early in the shot clock. It wasn't a good shot. You could have got something else going, and I think after that was it. I think we were down 2, and I think he forced that one up, and it was a bad shot. But he's been making bad shots all season. But this is just the game and the situation where he didn't make it. So, but what you guys see from Julius?
I think it was more the same. I feel like it was like a bad game that guys have. They might have like a little game where they off. I don't know if it was Derrick Rose coming in and starting and throwing things off or whatever the case for him, and then he's trying to accommodate them. He's with a new team on the second team. You know what I mean? Probably getting, trying to get used to it. And I felt like it was like a little bit because now you could bring it up. Now Derrick Rose could bring it up. So it was kind of like he was like in an odd little spot. But that's one of the parts that I feel like the Knicks didn't. Again, it was another bad game that the Knicks had, and they only lost by 2. And they could have we could have won this game, and the Knicks didn't even look that good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They missed a bunch of shots. It seemed like they get tired and then they can't hit a jumper because they hitting the jumpers earlier, and then all of a sudden all our shooters are missing. But I think it's a chemistry thing. It's still stuff they got to iron out. But Julius looked. I didn't even realize he had that bad of a game. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when he scores, he gets a double-double. It seems like to me like a quiet double-double anyway. But I'm hopeful that they'll get that together. They'll get that whole thing. I thought he looked all right, but like you said, he missed a lot of shots, and they cheated him out of the free throw line a bunch of times. Yeah.
I think you're gonna have an off game here and there. I think last night was just one of his off days. He looked about the same, but I think Dre, you're right. I think just the input of Rose was just a different feel to the team. So I think he was just trying to feel out, okay, where should I play my game and where should I, open things up so that, it's more of a team involvement because he does try to include the team. So I think he'll be back soon. Maybe not the next game, but the game after, I think he'll understand.
Yeah. Afro Jedi said Juju. I call him Juju too. He's allowed to. He's been carrying us the whole time. We need everyone to step up, and that's a fact. If you want to talk about the only other person that stepped up was our best player, Alfred Payton.
Our best player.
He had 18 points.
You didn't like that one, Dre?
You already know. Like one of the things I feel like with Alfred, if he's going to attack the basket like that, I'm fine with it. But he's front rimming on floaters.
Bro, I've been saying this since day one. I can't stand it. I can't stand watching it. I don't mind him being your second guard. Like this is what I want to say about Alfred Payton. I don't mind him being your backup guard. Why? Because there's things that he brings to the game that you do need. Like these kind of games, if he could have 18 off the bench, I'm fine with that. But it's when he's having the 7-point games as a starter, and you're supposed to be a defender and someone who's getting everyone involved on the offense, and you're having 7-point games, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. That's not starter. That's not a starter to me. And that's why he gets so much hate. It's not that he's whack. It's bro, you can't give us 7 points and 4 rebounds, and you're supposed to be your starting guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Listen, every time. I don't care. I know. I already know. Every single time, bro. We're gonna go at him, but we giving him love right now. We're giving him love. He had 18 points. He had a strong game. What does the headline say? Alfred with a strong game.
I feel like he meant to come out and play a good game, especially since Rose was on the team. He was like, listen, last time he brought the gun
early in the game. He looked
like
he can't play to make sure that they didn't get the sub in.
Yeah.
From the tip, he was going hard.
Yeah, and he was like,
But
you said what? Yeah, hold on, pause that. You said he was from the what?
Stop.
What did he say, Cat? I ain't even catch it. What did he say?
I said from the tip off. From the tip, but from the tip off.
He said he said from the tip he was going hard. I said, wow.
He said, "Stop it."
He said, stop it.
Like, come on, man. My kids are gonna watch this.
Word, my kids hear me
he was
right
on
now.
Yeah,
But
on the jump ball, he was on.
I think that's something that Derrick Rose does. He's the kind of guy that will make you fight for your job. He wasn't gonna go hard every game with IQ on the bench because he knew he had that lineup. He knew he had that matchup. I mean, he's like, I'm most likely, yeah, he's gonna have some hot games, but I'm most likely gonna line this up every game until he learns what he needs to learn. Derrick Rose is not that guy. You know what I'm saying? And Derrick Rose is the kind of guy who's gonna put pressure on you, not only to as a competitive nature, but as a teammate. He's gonna pressure you to do the right thing. He's gonna pressure you to play the right way. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna play the way that Tibbs knows that he needs to play, or the way he knows Tibbs wants to play. But I think having a guys on your roster who ball out, like for the Warriors, I think Monte Morris was huge for Klay Thompson and Steph Curry at the time he was there before they traded him, because he's somebody that's going to bring it every single play. You're gonna have to start over me. You're gonna have to take the minutes from me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of game you gotta play. You know what I mean? And I think he taught them what is expected every single night. He might not have been a championship player, but for young guys, they could learn those kind of lessons from him. And I think that's what Derrick Rose does. So I say all that to say, I think Elfrid knows that this is a guy that can take my starting position at some point. But I also do think that from what I heard, something from Detroit, they said that he was only able to play. They got the max out of Derrick Rose when he played around 23 minutes. If he played anything more than 23 minutes, he wasn't that effective. And if you see with the minutes that he played in Detroit, he played 22.8 minutes. They kept him right under that 23-minute max. So if you look at tonight, he played 20 minutes, and he's right at his season average. You know, I mean, last night. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that he can be a threat, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to take the starting position unless we shore up everything in the starting lineup. Julius, we get Mitch, and we have a starting lineup that we think can contend. Then that's when you put Derrick Rose in there, but you're not going to put him in there to rely on him. You know what I'm saying?
You think he wants to start?
Of course. That's why he came here. He said he came here because that's not why he came here. He came here because he's comfortable
to be a veteran, to show
right. He came here because he was comfortable with Tibbs, though. So I know if he went anywhere,
Tibbs, that's like half the battle right there.
That's half the battle. That's the thing. And I also think that, like, there was teams. I think the Clippers, a bunch of other teams. There was like 4 other contending teams that were interested in Derrick Rose, and he's like, "Nah, I want to go to New York." You know what I'm saying? Do I think he came here because he had an opportunity to start? Not necessarily. He did mention that he had relationships with Tibbs and Leon Rose and World Wide West since he was in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? So that's a comfortability move.
With all of those guys?
Not Tibbs, of course, but Leon Rose and Leon Rose and
What?
I don't know what Rick was laughing at, but I kind of feel like where he was trying to go. But anyway, he was working with World Wide West and Leon Rose since 8th grade, 9th grade. You know, they were scouting him, and so they was, of course, he probably was trying to get him to be his agent.
Excited to have him play here. It wasn't just
it wasn't just Tibbs. You know, this is something that he's been looking at for a while, apparently. But I like the move. It does bring some competition to the team. It does bring there's still more trades to be made, as we talked about the last pod or the last stream. Yeah, Austin. He didn't play a minute.
Not even one. But you know who played well? who I actually enjoyed watching play, Noel and Robinson collectively. I think they both did an excellent job on defense. How many block shots did the two of them have together? Because it just seemed like they had like 100.
Between the two of them, Mitch had one and
That's it.
Noel had one. Wow,
No,
they only had one.
That can't be accurate.
There was only 4 blocks for this entire team, and the one was by Rose. I remember that one. And one was on Quickly. One was on Quickly.
5 blocks.
Nah, Noel had at least 4. I mean, I don't know how they counting it.
It says Noel with 1, Rose with 1, Quickly with 1, and Robinson with 1.
Nah, that's wrong.
It gotta be wrong.
Nerlens had 3.
Yeah, he had to.
Yo, actually, I'm looking at the steals category. I'm gonna have to apologize for that.
I'm like, yo, that can't be.
Nerlens had 3. Rose had 1.
Mitch had 1.
And Mitch had 1.
And Derrick Rose had a good one. That was a nice one.
Yeah. The one on Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Or Duncan Robinson, one of the two.
One of them.
Probably both of them. Shoot.
Speaking of Duncan Robinson, Mitch Robinson only got about 1 dunk yesterday. And he was only 1 for 2. I mean, I don't know. Mitch was in there for 29 minutes and he didn't take a free throw.
He was mostly defense.
Wow.
He wasn't getting calls though, because he did get fouled on 2 possessions that they didn't call anything on. And
listen,
I think
man,
the last possession he got fouled and they totally missed it.
This team, this is a team. These guys were just in the finals.
Right.
You know what I mean? These guys were just in the finals.
And we hanging in there with them the whole game.
Yeah.
We were giving them a run for their money.
Right. So these guys were in the finals. Jimmy Butler had 26, 8, and 10. Bam Adebayo didn't play well and still had 19, 6, and 2. Kelly Olynyk. If it wasn't for Kelly Olynyk, they would have lost this game.
He was lighting it up from behind the arc.
He had 20 points, and I think 17 of those in the first half. You know what I mean? He was just open. He was just hitting threes left and right from whatever hash. And I think if it wasn't for Kelly Olynyk, they would have lost that game because they only won by 2 and he had 20, and it was all in the first half. So I think literally 17 of those 20 points was in the first half. So they have this, and this is what I realized yesterday. And I kind of was okay with Elfrid starting when I saw this, which kind of bothered me that I was okay with it. But when the bench came in there was a chemistry to them, and the way they was playing, it kind of made me comfortable with, all right, boom, this is going to be the guys off the bench that are going to be playing against other second units. Keep that. I like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I want to see
like
that.
You mentioned it before. They outplayed our first unit. So
right, yeah, they outplayed them, and that's what I started to see. So when you look at the Heat and you see that Kelly Olynyk had 20 points and Tyler Hero off the bench had 15, 7, and 4. This is kind of why you make these trades for guys like Derrick Rose. They're not supposed to be cornerstones. They're not supposed to be building blocks. There's just pieces that you have that can have a great game and that can help you win. All of a sudden, now the Miami Heat are 10 and 14, and they would have been 9 and 15 if they didn't get 20 out of Kelly Olynyk. You know what I mean? And that's why you make these kind of trades, and this is why you have these kind of guys on your team, because it makes it easier for you to not have to rely so much on your guys. Like RJ Barrett, 13 points, Julius Randle, 12 points, and we still only lost by 2 points. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's as tough as the loss was, this is why you have a good bench unit, and the bench did what they were supposed to do last night. Obi only had 4 points, but you know, I feel like if he Quickly only had 7. But these guys are learning. They did play against the Miami Heat. I think they just knew what to do against these guys. I think we're going to see.
He played good defense.
They play great defense. They play great defense from first all the way to the fourth. And I think at some point we're going to see, especially after this, this series is over. Clearly, we don't play them do we play them again? Yeah, we played them 2 more times this year.
We got to play them.
Oh no, one more time, because there's only 72 games, I think. So it might be only one more time.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
But I think we'll see the Knicks we got used to after this, because we play Washington on Friday, and they haven't really been playing well at all. They've
and I think they lost again tonight.
they're 6-16 right now.
Let, let, let me ask one last question because I know
Mhm,
we gotta wrap soon.
mhm.
How soon do you think Quickly is going to adjust to playing next to Rose?
I
Like how many
think
games? How
Very
many
quick.
games do you think he'll take?
I think one. I think he's already adjusted to it.
Word.
Okay, so you think the
I
next
think
game
he
he'll be
enjoys
back?
it.
Okay.
Because there's one thing that I do know. He mentioned before the game that they were both coached by Coach Cal, and I forgot that because I forgot Coach Cal coached at Memphis before he went to Kentucky, and that's how he coached Derrick Rose. So one thing that Coach Cal is known for is making you more than one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? He makes it so, all right, if you're not going to be an on ball player, you will be an off ball player, and vice versa. So he definitely, we hear it all the time. Quickly was an on ball guard. He was a point guard his whole life. But when he went to Kentucky for those 2 years, he was only basically off ball as a two guard. So he's adjusted and he's learned how to play on and off the ball. You know what I'm saying? Coming in the second unit, when you have someone like Quickly and you have Austin Rivers as your backcourt, they they don't know exactly how to make the right decision all the time. You know what I'm saying? Quickly because of the experience, Austin because he's just not that kind of guard. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't know how to go get to the foul line if he needs to get a foul. He doesn't know how to just get a bucket if he needs to get a bucket. He can go on streaks and uh, go 1 for 12 over 3 games. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll come out and he'll go 10 for 10. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to rely on that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? So him playing next to Rose, it gives him the opportunity to roam off the ball, which is what something that he learned how to do in college, and play off ball and get open, get those shots up, because that was one of the plays that the first plays that I think the only shot from three that he made tonight was a shot that he got from Rose, a pass that he got from Rose, and he rose up and hit the shot, because it just creates a different kind of gravity
Yeah.
when Rose has the ball versus Austin Rivers. You know what I'm saying? And you saw just like the play where Rose dipped off and he threw it to Obi. It's a gravity that he brings when he's on the floor that brought that double team that he split and then got to the basket. And then Bam Adebayo backed up because he thought he was going to pass it to his man, and he went up and then threw it to Obi.
Yeah.
It's just certain things that Austin Rivers just can't bring you. Little things. It's not huge. You know what I'm saying? They're going to play. They probably would be playing around the same amount of minutes anyway. So to answer your question, me personally, I think that the adjustment has happened already, and I think it'll just get better.
What you think, Dre?
I think like you said, like Cap said, I think he's pretty close to being just like you said, the small thing, the little thing. I think they're both excited, and I think that's a big part. And when guys are excited to play together, it just kind of makes that chemistry a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think that they both know how to attack the basket. It puts a different type of pressure on the defense. You know what I'm saying? And it was exciting to watch. It was actually pretty exciting because you're watching in anticipation to see what Rose is going to do and how it's going to affect the game. Because now Rose can attack the basket and quickly could be open for three.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If he drops those dimes in that second unit to Obi Toppin like he did,
Yeah.
I think it could be a really good time out there. Plus, he could shoot a little bit now. So it's exciting. I think for quickly, it wasn't much to get used to. Like playing with Austin, I guess, is the same type of game, just not as good, not as smooth with it.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a poor man's Rose kind of thing.
yeah, but then he could shoot. So sometimes he's on fire, and then sometimes he's cold as ice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like there's no in between with him. But I don't think that that's something that quickly is used to. Where he's like, I'm used to my man either making a bunch of shots or missing a bunch of shots and then
Right.
attacking the basket. Because we know Rivers could get to the basket, but what's his name doing that?
Mhm.
Rose doing that just looks really good, like your man said.
Yeah,
Figure Rose out.
he looked like
Yeah.
he said quickly looked like he was trying to figure Rose out, and
Yeah.
that's the thing you want. You know what I mean? We mentioned how Rose took out Obi and IQ for dinner, and they just talked about what he wanted to bring to them and how he could mentor them if they ever need anything. He gave him his number. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you want. You want someone, especially somebody who both of them grew up idolizing. He might have not been their favorite player, but someone that you grew up on. There's no one around that was watching Rose at that time and was saying that he wasn't special. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there was anybody that could really say that he wasn't special, especially during the MVP season. So the respect that you have, and you now you're playing against this guy every game, every practice, and you see what he does during the game, and imagine having to guard that every single practice. You know what I'm saying? He's not the same Derrick Rose, but at the same time, he's still unguardable. You know what I mean? He's still someone who can't give you more than 22 minutes a game because his body might break down. But for those 22 minutes, you got hell. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that he'll bring to those guys, and I think that they're learning that they'll love that intensity, and especially for him to be someone that's in their unit. That's something that they're going to be working with hand in hand. It's not like, oh, I'm on the same team as Elfrid. It's different because Elfrid's in the starting lineup, so he's building chemistry with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I'm on the same team with Julius. It's different. He's in the starting lineup. He's building chemistry with someone else. But when now he's in your unit, this is someone you're going to be working side by side with every single game. You got those blue jerseys on every practice. The starting unit got the white jerseys on. So you know that he's going to be the guy you're running with. So I'm going to build chemistry with you. And you saw it during the game. They were talking a lot. They were talking a whole lot. Every single chance they got, they would pull up to the side. Same thing with Obi and Derrick Rose. It was a lot of talking.
And I always I never felt like Derrick was like the talkative type, but it seemed
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know what's happened to him. Yeah. Something happened recently because he put a post out. Happy. He's happy. And
seems that way.
It looks like more than him being happy, he finally looks like he knows how to express himself. Right. And I think that's something that he dealt with. He had a problem with
the first time,
No, I mean even before that, just his whole career, really. You know what I'm saying? That he just didn't know how to really express himself, and he didn't speak at all. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we're even surprised that he's speaking shows how much he didn't speak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's made a major improvement. Of course, he's realized what he needs to bring to teams to have an opportunity to play basketball on a night in and night out basis. He didn't play since January 30th, 31st, or something like that. This was his first game. Literally.
What I'm saying, and you know what I think? I think that the Knicks are kind of like the same type of team that Miami is. Like a good defender. Like this was one of those games. It wasn't like a super explosive, high scoring game. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like as long as we have like that defense in the pocket, and I saw Rose play some nice defense last night.
Yeah,
also.
He got that steal.
Yeah, and then he had his hand all in what's his name face. He was playing defense, and I felt like I remember seeing that last time he was in New York. They might shoot over him or whatever. You know, he's not the tallest guard, but he put some good effort out there on defense. And I think like if the Knicks are gonna make, I have a feeling like if they make another trade, I don't know why. I don't know if they will or not.
They will.
If they make another trade, I just feel like they're probably going to be smart about it. Mm-hmm. And if we get somebody who's a scorer or whatever the case, because I just feel like, again, there's always opportunities when other teams do bad. Like when you got like the Wizards or something like that, I just feel like sometimes that just creates something where you be like, oh, snap. Like, that team wasn't patient. It was like, we're losing too much. We got to get rid of these guys. We got to blow the team.
Yeah.
A lot of executives around the league are like notorious for that. They just like, So, but I'm curious to see how that will go. I think we got a lot of guys that were not playing, and it looks like the Knicks can parlay that. I don't know how they did the whole Derrick Rose for DSJ.
DSJ in the second round.
Wow.
Bro, listen, and this is the thing. If Tom Thibodeau is going to be a coach going forward, we got plenty of pieces because he's only going to play at max 10 guys. So there's at least 5 guys for you to shuffle in and out, at least, and that doesn't include the guys that are in the lineup or in the rotation that will be available to be traded. You know what I'm saying? So there's that, at least if you really look at it, 7-8 guys that they can just cycle out whenever they want, because he's only going to play 8 to 10 guys per night.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sure, go ahead. There's a bunch of guys that we got. There's Frank, there's Knox. You know what I'm saying?
Razdiscus was his name.
Iggy, he's on the. I think is he still signed under us? Is he a two-way player? He's a two-way player.
I think Jarrett went down there too.
Jared as well. You got Theo Pinson. There's a bunch of guys who aren't playing.
He's the biggest chili. I love him, man.
I love him, man. Yeah, you got to keep him on your bench.
He's hopping over the thing whatever that thing is, and he's jumping over.
Yeah, with the towel every time. Yeah. I'm like, yo, my man, yo, that's what you need, bro.
You see him hopping over, and the shot is up. He's already hopping up.
He's going crazy. He's going crazy, and that's what you want. He's probably the same way in practice too. The loudest one in practice, right. First one in, last one out. Yep. But you need those guys on the team, and that's kind of what I was mentioning. And that's the culture that we always are talking about. The culture that we've been wanting the team to have, the culture that was missing for all of these years. You know what I'm saying? And it's just having the right people that you can trust and a consistent staff. You know what I mean? And that's why from the beginning of the season, I was excited. Why? We didn't really change our team much. The team wasn't really much different. We only added Alec Burks and Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly. And not for nothing, we were way more excited about Obi than we were about Quickly. You know what I mean? And we were still happy at that point. And I was happy mainly because of the staff. I knew that was going to be the difference we needed. You know what I mean? Fizdale and the staff that he had here and Phil, all of those past regimes, I just knew it wasn't it. You know what I mean? It seemed more political. It didn't really seem like these guys were invested in the basketball aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? And these guys have histories, long-standing histories of basketball, from every coach to every scout, but something's different, and that's what it is. And if, like I said, if you're gonna have Thibodeau here for God knows how long, and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing right now already with a team that was only supposed to win 21 and a half games. I think, what are we? 26 games or 10 games from halfway through the season, and we already have 11 wins. And let's say we win half of those 10 games. We're at 16 games halfway through the season. And they thought we were supposed to only win 21. You know what I'm saying? So if we can win 16 games halfway through the season and then finish out around 30, 32 games, I think that's something, that's an improvement. That's from last year.
Yeah, that'd be a huge improvement. And the fact that like you said, the management, it's more of a team that you can trust. So when they make a move, you don't have to be like, yo, why did they do? Like, you can tell that they are thinking things through. They're looking at what's best for the team, and that's why you can make a trade like DSJ for Derrick Rose. Like it, I would dare Phil Jackson to do that.
Yeah, man. And
anyhow,
there's Pistons fans out there calling the Knicks stupid. So anyway, we'll see how that works out for them.
I don't get that.
Yeah, we have on Friday we have the
Wizards.
The Wizards. The Friday we have the Wizards. Saturday we have the Houston Rockets, and on Monday we have the Atlanta Hawks. So there's a lot of basketball this weekend. Yeah. I think all three of those games are winnable. If you ask me, I think we should come out 3-0 if we really play our best basketball.
Yeah. How do we do against the Hawks the first time we played them? We won?
We beat them. We did?
All right. Mm-hmm. They've been going on a little bit of a run, so
yeah. Down on that.
They're gonna have to chill. So, but that's all we got. Y'all got any parting words?
Nah, man. We're gonna get three game win streak right here.
We need to. I don't like that L column going up.
No.
Hopefully, there'll be some more word on Elfrid Payton and a trade. This way, we can get a starting point guard in there that we can appreciate, somewhere Lonzo Ball-esque kind of thing. But
well, if we do that and we got Rose, forget it.
Yeah, man, that would be nice to see. And then we got quickly playing off ball, knocking down shots. But we'll see. Everybody, thank you for joining us on Gardeners Podcast. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're getting the subscribers up. I think we up to 66 subscribers. Getting closer, creeping up to 100. But like I said, share. There's a lot of Knicks fans out there that want to hear some good positive talk. And we bring that to you, and we got a little bit of love too, because we really family. This is real family right here. This is blood right here.
Oh yeah, for sure. What are we doing at 100 subscribers? We gonna do anything special?
What should we do? Actually, if y'all have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. So what would you guys want from us at 100K? At 100K. Ooh, I'm speaking too soon. Hey, at 100 subscribers.
I like the way you think.
At 100 subscribers, what you guys are thinking? We'll brainstorm that and come up with something real nice for y'all. But that's all we got for y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Gut Up Next podcast.